yeah, it's a weird trust exercise, I guess, in the UK. And you're like, oh my gosh, it's a pub quiz. Why is this your hill to die on? You're the next generation in training. Good work. Probably why we have a massive pandemic. I have my own controversial opinions on that, so I realized this video is probably coming out at maybe the worst time. But I was like, you know what, let's pretend we can all go to the pub, yeah? Because I want to make a video talking about pub etiquette, particularly for people who aren't familiar, because I think if you're not from the UK, it's a bit unique compared to where you're from. I know I used to struggle quite a lot, and sometimes I still struggle. You never know if you walk into a pub, you're like, is someone going to serve me, or I have to go to the counter, or, you know, what's the deal? Like, how do I put my order in? All that kind of stuff. And then there's so much more than that. So I thought, let's do an official guide to pub etiquette in England. I'd be interested to know from my British audience, does this vary north and south? Because I only really know the south. I've done some in the north, but not enough to really have a good sample size, you know? So I will get into it. You can tell me your thoughts in the comments below as we go through it. You should order your table drinks in one go. Don't everyone go up to the bar separately to order. That's just not how it's done. One person from your table will go up and order drinks for the table. No more than 2 people from the table, because you might need someone else to help you carry the drinks. So you're allowed one other person from your table, but generally 1 or 2 people from the table to go get the drinks for everybody else. You need to order the slower drinks first, and what I mean by slower, I mean like cocktails take a lot longer than, say, a beer, just pouring out a beer. And you try and group them together. Don't just say like 1 draft beer. I don't order beer, so I don't know if that's right. 1 draft beer, and then they put it down, you're like, 1 draft beer, and then they put it down, 1 draft beer. I feel like the scene in Red Dwarf where the cat's ordering fish. 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 You're like, beer. Beer. You'd go 6 beers, thank you. And then the barman can go and get them super fast for you. And that helps them. Also, there's this whole culture of rounds in the UK, which I've not necessarily seen anywhere else. I have my own controversial opinions on that, so I'll get to that in a minute. But what a round is that you're at a table with, say, 5 friends, and then you stand up, or someone will stand up and go, I'll get a round for the table, what are you having? And they'll take their orders, then they'll go buy everyone a drink and come back and sit down. And then it's expected that each person will go around and do a round for the table. So at the end of the day, you should have all roughly spent the same amount of money, so no one's out. And you should all have had the same amount of drinks, but it's more of like, it's a cultural thing to say that you trust your friends that they're going to reciprocate and not rip you off. You know, it's not, yeah, it's a weird trust exercise, I guess, in the UK. My personal issue with it, and I love this, I love it on paper. In reality, 5 drinks for like a 6'5" man versus 5 drinks for a 5'1" woman, very different. I sometimes can't drink, or I don't plan on drinking that much, but in this rounds culture, you kind of get sucked into the whirlwind of orders, and you don't want to rip anyone off. Well, I don't want to rip anyone off. But you also don't want 5 drinks. So you're like, I don't know how to like navigate this, and I honestly don't have an answer, so someone tell me. So that's my struggles. I'm like, I just don't want 5 cocktails or 5 wines. Like 5 wines is so much different to 5 beers. Because of this rounds business, there's a few no-nos that you should not be doing if you were part of bar etiquette. There's one is disappearing to the bathroom when it's your turn to buy a round, not seen as polite. Ordering expensive drinks for everybody else, and then when they're ordering, and then when you're in charge of your round, getting everyone like quite a cheap beer. That doesn't go down quite well either. And also, just if you're out with friends and there's 2 rounds have happened, you've had 2 drinks and then you leave because you've got somewhere to be, that's not seen as very nice either, because you've not had your rounds. See what I mean? This whole, it's a give and take trust exercise, and you're not showing up that you can trust, that you're trustworthy. Respect reservations. So often, there's 2 types here. Pubs might just have a reservation sign on a table, which you should respect like everywhere else. I think the difference is that you sit yourself down in a pub, whereas a restaurant, they know where's reserved, but you have to like see the sign and go, okay, I shan't sit here, I see the sign. However, There is a universal sign for reserved that you might not know about, and I don't think I really knew properly until I read this list. If you get a beer glass with a coaster on top of your drink, and the table is empty, it means someone's coming back. So that means they've gone out for a cigarette or something, for a smoke, and they'll probably come back, or they've ducked off to the bathroom, something, but the table is not free. It is an unofficial reserved table, so you can't sit there or suffer the wrath. Pub culture is a sharing culture, which is why I think they're probably shutting them at the minute. But if you get snacks for the table, so some crisps, some chips, some nuts, whatever it is, it's for the table, it's for everyone. It would be quite weird if you were sitting with a group of friends and you got a bowl of crisps for yourself. It would be odd. People would look at you weird. You get them for the table and everyone communally shares. Probably why we have a massive pandemic. Like most places in the world, be aware and sensitive with your Googling and your phone and your calls and your texting. Everything should be on silent or very, very quiet. Nothing worse than someone sitting there watching videos on their phone on loud. Like, oh my gosh. No, I don't care that you want to watch Logan Paul. No, I don't. Alternatively, pub quizzes, maybe my favourite thing. I think when I did my favourite things of England video, which I can link, pub quizzes ranked pretty high. Now, back in the day, the fun was like getting a bit pissed or a bit drunk and trying to remember, you know, what the capital of Estonia is. What is the capital of Estonia? Tallinn? I went to Tallinn. Was that the capital? I don't know. That was the fun, whereas now we have Google, so you kind of got to not be a wet blanket, ruin the fun and Google all the answers, because like, okay, cool, we all can Google, that's not fun. Yeah, that's the worst when you're, and I think that's probably the biggest sign, like the biggest cause of contention in a pub these days, is if you're in a quiz night and you know there's a table to your left using a phone, and you can see them Googling. Absolutely not on. That said, the other worst thing you could do doing a quiz is be that person that just like straight up debates the quizmaster on everything, you know? They can't accept that they got it wrong, so they're just like, actually, I think you find Normandy stormed it at 6 a.m, not 6:30 a.m. You're like, oh my gosh, it's a pub quiz, why is this your hill to die on? One thing I think foreigners struggle with pubs is children are welcome there. Now, with that one, I have to specify, yeah, it's bizarre. So in the US, like obviously drinking is so, you know, prohibitive, so that like kids aren't meant to be around it. UK, it's very common to go to the Sunday in the UK, it's very common to go to the pub for a Sunday lunch with your whole family and the dog, and it's amazing. I love that culture. So it's a bit more holistic. That said, people can get, and I think this is kind of warranted on both sides, is that you have to tolerate kids being there because it's a family space as much as it doesn't seem like it is. However, if kids are being absolute children and running around and screaming and flipping chairs and like playing hide and seek and like running, I think that's also not on, so you control your kids. But if they're sitting there colouring, like carry on. This is a communal space for everyone. You're the next generation in training. Good work. I think one of the interesting things with pubs and pub culture that you need to kind of realise as well is that Brits in general, I guess from like a stereotypical sense, are seen as like repressed, quiet, tight-lipped, don't say what they mean. None of that applies in the pub. So it's quite loud, it'll be rowdy tables, there'll be people saying some like quite explicit things, shall we say. They'll have some like crazy, maybe opposing political opinions just being said. It's a really raucous place, I guess, because of the drinking and the smoking, and everyone's kind of relaxed and in their safe space. So I think it's fantastic, but I think if you're coming to the UK and you're expecting it to be, you know, a high tea situation, you'll be rudely awakened. It's definitely, you know, Titanic, you know, the bit where Rose goes down to Leo DiCaprio's area. Was he with Irish people? Was he Irish in that? They were Irish dancing. This is the Irish dancing group of people, okay? The fun ones. But yes, just so be aware of the situation they're in, and you can't, I guess, I guess there's like a cone of no judgment in a sense. I'm sure there's always cases, but like if you're a pro-Brexiter and then you're with someone who's an anti-Brexiter or vice versa, I think you kind of agree to disagree in this scenario. It's like, it's Switzerland, you know. Don't start anything. I'm sure there's always going to be one person who's like, wait a minute, but in general it's Switzerland. It's a safe space to express your opinion, and everyone will be like, agree to disagree, and not, you know. One thing that can happen that I'm not going to tell you what to do. I think you can decide, but I'll give you the situation. Often with pubs, particularly if you're not in a major city, everyone has their local pub, and then there might be a local person who sits in their seat. So you could go in and sit down and they might say, half joking, half menacingly, that's John's seat. It is completely up to you if you give in to mythical John, or if you decide to hold your ground and say, too bad, I'm here. He doesn't, unless John owns the pub, you don't have to move. But as if this is the hill you want to die on, I personally would just move because I can't be bothered to fight about a seat. Unless it's the only seat, then I might fight. But yes, yeah, so you got to be aware of the locals who have their set routines and seats and places in pubs. This one's more for the Americans, but do not impose. And I mean that in the most lovely way. Americans are so friendly and so inviting and personable. However, pubs, people don't want to make friends, I don't think. Most alone, if you go to the pub for a drink, you want to be left alone. If there's a woman reading a book, she wants to be left alone. She's not interested in talking to you, she wants to read. I resonate with that quite heavily. Being nice to staff, it goes a long way. I think everyone should be a waiter or a bar staff at one point in their life to understand what it's like to be treated like crap, basically. So don't smash the glasses, don't yell at them if the TV goes down. They're doing their best, they're just trying to get through their shift. So anything you can do to make them feel better. Don't flirt with the staff, men or women, mainly women, because it's a bit like, creates a weird power dynamic, because if they reject you and then that could look bad on them and they get punished, but then if they don't, it's a bit like prostitution. It's weird, no one likes it, makes everyone uncomfortable. Don't flirt with them. Another one, that this is such a trend and I don't understand it, but I don't know why I have to say it, to be honest, but don't steal the glasses. I think I've met many, to be honest, mostly men, but I'm not making a judgment on that tend to steal a glass from the pub, and then they make that their trophy, and they have like a trophy cases of all the glasses they've taken from different pubs, because often they've got, you know, the pub name on it. And I'm like, but if everyone did that, that would cost them so much money and put them out of business. So try not to do that. And if you are leaving the pub, it's always nice to take your empty glasses up to the bar just to help out a little bit. But you don't have to, that's just being extra nice. And my last tip is to check what time the pub closes, because if the pub closes at 12 and you're ordering 2 drinks at 11:55, you have to down them both in 5 minutes. So if you don't, you'll end up in a big complaint and kerfuffle, and like, who could be bothered? I'm just so unconfrontational, basically. It's what we're learning. But yes, hopefully, and the other thing with pubs as well, you don't have to yell, scream, click, wave at the bartender. They take note of everyone in front of the bar, and they kind of know the order you've come up in, so they will get to you when they get to you. They know what's happening. The barman always knows. That's probably the most important takeaway from this video. The barman always knows. Hopefully this video has helped you understand British pub culture a bit clearer, and maybe I've got it wrong, maybe there's some extra rules that I haven't said. Let me know in the comments below. I know some of them, particularly like the being extra nice and taking your glasses back, isn't like a proper rule, it's just my own personal rule, so don't. I just like to promote niceness, I guess, so say what you will. But yeah, tell me any other rules and etiquette that I may have missed in the comments below. I look forward to seeing all your replies. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Tell me in the comments below, how keen are you to get back to a pub when there's no COVID? God, we can only dream. Alright, remember to hit subscribe so I can see you next time, and thank you so much for watching.